Yeah, we kind of knew we were due for a game like this. Things were feeling just a bit too easy, and it's good that it happens now. And but at the same time, we just have to move forward, and there's no point in crying over spilled milk, and we just move on and respond on Saturday, and that's what we have to do as a pro team.
Do you think a loss like that kind of helped to, I don't know how to say this, but to not get overconfident?
We're never overconfident. Like that was the comments in the dressing room where, it doesn't matter what media says about our team. Like, doesn't matter that we're in first place. It's not important to us. Like, what's important to us is our commitment and dedication to our habits and details in practice, our commitment and dedication to showing up in front of our home crowd and, putting on a performance that we can be proud of at the end of it. Our process is our most important thing. And tonight I didn't feel like we followed the process that we have put in place. So, yeah.
What you can take away from that?
Yeah, I think, we're a team that focuses on structure in a lot of it. And I didn't think we had that tonight. I didn't think we were paying enough attention to that detail. And when you play a team like Minnesota, who is extremely fast, they have a pretty potent offense. They have lines 1 through 4 who can pretty much roll. You have to be strategic. And I didn't think that we had the level of detail that we needed tonight in order to beat them.
I was looking at the game played on Saturday.
Mhm.
After 2 periods, you had 11 shots. Tonight you have 12 after 2 periods. Is
Yeah.
there something that bothers you about this as far as shot quantity?
Yeah, I mean, I think, obviously in the game against New York, I would not look at quantity, I would look at quality and location, because that at the end of the day is what gives us expected goals and our ability to win games. And tonight we didn't have enough inner slot shots. So that's what I would ask you to look at is what was our inner slot shots? What was the quality of the chances that we got against New York? Because tonight I feel like we just didn't have those inner slot opportunities that we had against New York.
Would you have expected better starts after the first period and after the second period? It didn't seem like there was any urgency.
Yeah, we didn't really have it tonight. That was pretty much it.
How do you treat that when you just don't have it? Like, are you trying not to overreact when you get back to practice, or?
Yeah, I mean tonight, like I really liked our response as coaches behind the bench. Like we could tell that the team was a little flatter than what they usually are. It wasn't just like a player here and there. It felt like the whole team kind of, came out a little flatter. And we have multiple Tuesday night games, so I hope it's not the Tuesday. So we'll see about that. But in these moments, you can read it, you can feel it, you can tell when your team is just not having the level of execution and the detail. And so in those moments, it's not about being harder on them. It's about trying to help them find a solution, stay positive with them, because they know, they feel it. They don't like that feeling of things are just not going well. And tonight that was it. And like I said, it's a good learning lesson for our group, because we need to have these hard games if we're going to win the Walter Cup.
You're talking about flatter. We were talking about that in French, but you said it was not the process you used to.
Yeah.
How do you explain that the team was like that today? Do you have an explanation? You said it was not because you were confident, but maybe it was too easy. How do you explain the fact that they came out like that today?
Yeah, I don't know. We try to support them as much as possible, and we prepare the same way regardless of what's going on. We prepare the same way if there's a back-to-back, if we have 5 days in between, if we have 2 days in between. And sometimes in hockey, in sport, it's not really that explainable. I think when the players kind of get up here and are in front of you, they'll kind of give their sentiment on how they felt the game went. And for us as coaches, we didn't feel like we had the battle and the compete. We didn't feel like we won too many one-on-one battles. Minnesota has been the best team with stick details, being able to make small plays in small areas, the area passes, their level of battle and compete. They wanted it in every single battle. And it's okay for me to say that out loud because you guys watch the game. And so, but it's important that our players understand that and know what it takes every single game, and then chime in the fact that, we're at the top of the league and it's easy to get up to play us. Like, it's really easy. Why wouldn't you want to beat that team? So we just have to find ways to feel that against other teams as well.
Just about a few words about Gabriel David. We understood that he now probably has the Swedish virus. I was going to say, sorry. Anyways, Gabriel David, what do you think of her game? Of course, it's been a long time since she played.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, every time she touched the ice, I thought that she had an impact. And, it's obviously she didn't get a lot of minutes tonight. And, but every time she went on the ice, she did exactly what was asked of her. She put pucks in, she got shots to the net, she made some nice touches through the neutral zone that allowed us to get on the forecheck and extend ozone play. And the times that DeGeorge's line hit the ice tonight, I really liked them. They had a good game.
I was just going back to the goals that they scored.
Yeah.
2 tips.
Yeah.
It was a perfect play, I guess.
Yeah.
What do you say about those the first 2 goals they scored?
Yeah, we talk about it quite a bit. Like, being in the D zone, it's not good enough to just stand beside somebody. You have to be able to get under sticks. And a team like Minnesota, who likes to tip pucks, that's kind of their identity in the ozone, combined with like their D being able to get shots through. And there was nothing magical about their goals. They just got a shot through and got a stick on a puck. And, and it sounds so simple and it sounds so easy, but it's hard to, it's hard to play against them. And, but, we learn from that. We know what they're bringing to the table, and we just need to execute the defensive strategy against that.
Thank you.
Merci beaucoup.
Marie-Philippe, comment tu analyses la performance globale de l'équipe ce soir?
On est tous conscients que c'est pas notre meilleure performance. On était un petit peu flat tout au long de la partie. Malheureusement, on est sorti avec la défaite, mais je pense que c'est une partie du processus. Je pense que c'est une game. C'est à nous de rebondir pour ce samedi. C'est très important pour nous.
Cette partie finale-là dont tu parles, est-ce qu'on la comprend? Est-ce qu'on est capable de l'expliquer?
Non, c'est le hockey, hein, des fois, on voulait que ça allait bien, je pense que l'effort était là, mais il y en a qui marchaient, on a eu de la misère un petit peu à sortir de notre zone, et surtout on bien sorti, puis c'est à nous de faire du vidéo, voir qu'est-ce qu'il faire meilleur, puis aller de l'avant.
C'est toujours la chenoute de pire, mais tu es capable de dire, de voir le positif quand même, pas le positif, je reformule. Corey vient de dire que c'était peut-être trop facile, tu sais. Fait y a-tu du bon peut-être dans cette défaite-là, de dire, regarde, vous allez gagner 6, il faudrait peut-être en perdre une pour mieux avancer après, mettons.
Mais tu sais, je pense que notre mindset, tu veux toujours gagner. Je pense que dans cette ligue-là, ça soit n'importe quelle équipe, tu veux gagner. Tu sais, oui, on a eu un beau stretch. On a eu 6 games où on a la chance de gagner. Puis, tu sais, cette partie-là, oui, c'est une défaite, mais je pense que c'est une longue saison. C'est 30 parties, chaque match est intense, chaque game, on veut la gagner. Puis, je crois que c'était facile. Je pense qu'on a eu un bon stretch, mais c'est à nous de reprendre dessus, puis prendre un pas de recul, puis aller de l'avant.
Laura, we know you tried to score today.
Ouch.
Ouch.
Right. You had 6 shots, but why was it so difficult?
Yeah, I mean, they're a good team. So are we. Obviously, it wasn't, like she said, our best performance, but she made a lot of great saves, and I think just some of the quality of our shots weren't as great as they have been. We didn't have a crazy amount of traffic in front, and that's something that we've been doing really well. So She saw a lot of pucks, made a lot of saves. We got to give her some credit too. She's a great goaltender, and we didn't make it that tough on her tonight.
On n'est pas tout seul à être flat à soir.
What was the atmosphere in the locker room?
Tabarnouche.
I think, I mean, we tried to find it in between periods.
Sorry.
Honestly, we're not expecting this. What does that tell you about your team and what's the atmosphere in the locker room? Because honestly, well, like, maybe they're going to be mad or they're not going to answer our questions, and you guys came here laughing. So what does that tell you about your team and the vibe in the locker room?
Yeah, I think we weren't happy with the result. I think if you saw our locker room, it was a completely different picture than what you're seeing here. But I think we have just a ton of confidence in our group and in our response. We know we're going to have a really good practice on Thursday and Friday and come ready to play on Saturday. So we were mad when we got back in the locker room. It was not a pretty picture, but we were a resilient group and we cooled down and regrouped. And I think, we know that fun is a big part of our success. So that's going to, be what it is.
So after the early part of the second period and the early part of the third period, we could have expected maybe a bigger start from you guys. It didn't feel that way. Is there something that explains why you couldn't start better after 2-1-0 into nothing?
Yeah, honestly, it's a great question. I think we talked a lot about it, and we tried really hard to kind of ignite that spark. And there was some great plays, there was some big moments, but unfortunately, it just didn't transpire to the next, into a push. It's just hockey's a momentum sport, and unfortunately today we couldn't build off of that momentum. We couldn't build off of that good play, that block shot. But that's how hockey goes sometimes. You can do some right things, you can do some wrong things, and the team can take advantage of you. So obviously the bounces, you're right, that push wasn't necessarily there, but I think there was moments and flashes of it. We just weren't able to kind of push it past that edge of creating like extended ozone time or creating more chances like we talked about. So we'll go back to the drawing board. We'll work harder this week, and we're going to put it past this and move on for sure.
That's
Merci.
it. Désolée.